Tonight's news focus. Pulse Federal Sarawak Corporation drive investor confidence. Ex-FAB Sarawak boosts semiconductor ecosystem, reflects investor confidence in Sarawak. Advanced technology must be assessed to avoid falling into the productivity paradox. Assalamualaikum and good evening. Strong cooperations between the federal government and the Sarawak government has become key driver of international investor confidence to expand their operations in the state. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said such collaboration ensures that all investment-related matters can be resolved swiftly, transparently and efficiently.
And I'm appreciative of the fact that the confidence shown to the country Malaysia and in particular to Sarawak, that 3 billion ringgit just for this facility for expansion because of your confidence, trust and the performance of the state government under Premier Abang Duo Hari. So thank you very much again. Makes my life as Prime Minister very easy when you have state government as progressive like this.
He said this when officiating the new ex-FAB Sarawak building at Samajaya here on Friday. He noted that ex-FAB Sarawak's 3 billion ringgit expansion stands as clear evidence of international companies' confidence in Malaysia's political stability, investor-friendly policies and progressive state leaderships. Datuk Seri Anwar added that the federal government's full support through the National Semiconductor Strategy, coupled with the state's progressive policies, will further strengthen Malaysia's position in the global market. Meanwhile, ex-FAB Sarawak's 3 billion ringgit capacity expansion at Samajaya Free Industrial Zone is a clear testament to global investors' continued confidence in the state's investors-friendly policies, stability and growth potentials. Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Abdul Rahman Zohari Tun Datuk Abang Openg said the expansion will raise wafer production from 30,000 to 40,000 per month, with future plans to reach 50,000 wafers monthly.
Increased production capacity will support a wide range of applications, from automotive and medical technologies to industrial systems and communication and consumer products. These are critical sectors that shape modern life, and it brings us great pride to know that components manufactured here in Kuching, Sarawak are powering and will continue to power solution and innovation used around the world.
He was speaking at the inauguration of ex-FAB Sarawak's new building, officiated by Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim at Persian Silicon Samajaya Free Industrial Zone on Friday. Abang Zohari added that nearly 95% of ex-FAB's workforce are Sarawakians, many of whom are not only employees, but also engineers, managers and leaders in the semiconductor industry. He stressed that the Sarawak government is not just hosting high-value investments, but also providing a complete ecosystem, including modern infrastructure, competitive hydro-based green energy, and talent developments. To date, Samajaya Free Industrial Zone has attracted investment worth 15.4 billion ringgit and created more than 15,000 jobs. The Premier further noted that the state government continues to strengthen human capital to various initiatives, including investments in technical and vocational education and training TVET, industry-driven training programs, and the rollout of the free tertiary education schemes at the state-owned institutions starting next year with an emphasis on STEM and professional fields. He also highlighted the Sarawak Semiconductor Roadmap 2030, which targets 2 billion ringgit investments, 3,000 high-skilled jobs, the commercialization of new intellectual property, strategic collaborations with more than 10 global companies, and the training of 30,000 local graduates under the talent development initiatives. In addition, he said Sarawak has forged international collaboration with XFAB in Dresden, Germany, Cambridge Microelectronics, and CSA Catapult to develop gallium nitride GaNs-based chips for the next generation applications, with plans to transfer this technology to Sarawak in the future. Earlier on Thursday, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said major investment in technology, including computers, digital system and now artificial intelligence (AI), must be accompanied by close monitoring and evaluation to ensure they truly enhance national productivity and avoid falling into the so-called productivity paradox. He stressed that the adoption of new technologies must come with readiness to assess whether such costly investments bring proportional productivity gains.
Kerana dulu belanja beli komputer buat online supaya kurang gunakan kertas, tapi kesannya di banyak jabatan bukan kurang, ada yang lebih. Jadi ada from paperless to paperless, yang jadi di setengah jabatan paper more. Jadi sebab itu bila kita ada program baru, mesti ada pemantauan menilai supaya kesannya baik.
He said this at a dinner with the local community in conjunction with his visit to Sarawak held at the leading hotel here on Thursday. Also present was Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Nur Rahman Zuhari to Datuk Abang Openg. In the context of digitalization today, Anwar emphasised that equal access to digital facilities must be ensured so that they do not benefit only one group, while less privileged remain trapped in the productivity paradox.
Jadi sebab itu bila kita ada program baru, mesti ada pemantauan menilai supaya kesannya baik. Dalam isu digital juga, jaminan perhatian kita jangan berlaku digital divide. Golongan yang berada elit punya peluang, yang miskin bandar di desa, di pedalaman terpinggir kerana tidak ada konektiviti dan tidak ada kemudahan. Maka waspada supaya kemudahan itu dapat diberikan secara adil dan sama rata.
On AI developments, the Prime Minister reminded that advanced technology is merely a tool, while human beings must still play the central roles in safeguarding values, morality and ethics. He added that AI-related training and education must go hand in hand with character building so that technological progress does not erode social values but instead strengthens national identity. Sarawak's leadership has been urged to continue upholding good governance in managing the state as it advances toward becoming new giants in the renewable energy sector. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said Sarawak has tremendous potential to attract foreign investments that would greatly benefit the state, particularly in terms of developments.
Tapi saya nak tunjukkan bahawa potensi ini besar, gerakkan sudah, tumpu dalam hal-hal sedemikian. Jaga supaya tata kelola baik, hindari dari penyelewengan dan rasuah supaya tata kelola baik, dan kemudian tumpu dalam soal-soal pembangunan yang akan dijayakan.
He made these remarks during a community dinner held in conjunction with his visit to Sarawak at a leading hotel here on Thursday. Also present was Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Nur Rahman Zuhari to Datuk Abang Openg. Expanding on the matter, Anwar noted that good governance also requires Sarawakians to preserve peace in the state, allowing the governments to focus on developments including equipping young people with advanced knowledge and skills.
Semua ini boleh kita tumpu bila keadaan negeri itu aman, politiknya stabil dan pimpinan mempunyai wawasan dan program yang jelas. Economic, social policies yang akan membantu mengangkat martabat negara kita.
He also praised Sarawak's leadership for having a clear vision that has successfully raised the state's profile on the global stage, especially in the renewable green energy sectors. Sarawak is committed to enhancing the image of Malaysia Madani governments led by Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim by positioning itself as Asia's green energy hub. Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Nur Rahman Zuhari to Datuk Abang Openg said the state is actively collaborating with renowned international companies such as Siemens, particularly in advancing new technologies for hydrogen production. Adding to this pride, he highlighted that the Bakundam has received international recognition from the International Hydro Associations and the global standards as one of the best power generating sites in the world.
Jadi ini adalah usaha-usaha kita untuk mengangkatkan imej Malaysia. Dan alhamdulillah banyak kerja-kerja kita yang dapat menyumbang ke arah Malaysia madani.
He said this during a dinner with the local community attended by Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim at the leading hotel here on Thursday. Datuk Pati Abang Zohari further noted that Sarawak's and Malaysia's workforce is gained international recognitions, especially emerging industries, and is now in high demand worldwide. With the introduction of free education initiatives for Sarawakian children, he said this skilled workforce can be further expanded regardless of background.
Mereka mengatakan bahawa dengan adanya era baru ini, nampaknya anak Malaysia termasuk anak Sarawak telah dapat mempamerkan profesionalisme dan juga cara-cara menguruskan usaha-usaha yang baru ini.
Meanwhile, at the same functions, the Sarawak government has pledged to assist the federal governments in completing the missing link along the Sabah-Sarawak Link Road (SSLR) to ensure the project is fully realised. Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Rahman Zohari Tun Datuk Abang Openg said this reflects the strong cooperation between both governments to ensure the SSLR projects benefits the people in Northern Sarawak as well as Sabah.
Dan tadi saya madah Datuk Perdana Menteri bahawa ada missing link sikit-sikit daripada jalan raya. Saya mengatakan Perdana Menteri, don't worry, Sarawak will also work with you to build the road.
The Premier added that the initiative is not only about connecting roads but also about strengthening the bonds among Malaysians. In conjunction with Malaysia Day this September, he called on the people to reinforce the spirit of togetherness as the foundation for Malaysia to continue moving forward. He also assures that Sarawak remains committed to finding solutions to any issues with the federal government in the spirit of Malaysian solidarity.
Dan di sinilah kami di Sarawak ini memanglah dalam persekutuan ini orang kata sedang lidah lagi tergigit, ada perkara dikit-dikit yang boleh kita selesaikan dalam semangat keluarga Malaysia. Jadi tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, kalaulah Sarawak kuat, Malaysia akan lebih hebat.
He acknowledged that differences may arise when living under one roof, but stressed that such matters must be resolved harmoniously. In other developments, the diplomatic relations between Malaysia and Australia, established for the past 70 years, continue to be strengthened to various areas of cooperation, including defence, security, trade and people-to-people networking. Sarawak Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Professor Dr. Sim Kui Hian said the year 2025 is significant because apart from commemorating 80 years of victory in the Pacific and the liberations of Borneo during World War II, it also marks the 70th anniversary of Australia's diplomatic presence in Malaysia.
Australia and Malaysia are long-standing partners and friends. 2025 commemorates 70 years of Australia's diplomatic presence in Malaysia. Our relationship is based on mutual respect, common interests, shared history and strong community links. As mid-sized democracies and open trading nations in the Indo-Pacific regions, we share a future in the regions. We continue to support one nation's aspirations for economic development and share interest in a region that is open, stable and prosperous.
He said this when speaking at the event on board HMAS Cape Shanks in Kuching on Thursday. According to him, the close cooperation between Malaysia and Australia is not only government to government, but is strengthened through a people-to-people network involving hundreds of thousands of Malaysians and Sarawakians who have studied, worked and lived in Australia. Dato' Amar Dr. Sim himself shared his experience of receiving medical education and training in Melbourne for 17 years before returning to Sarawak to serve, including developing the first health centre in Borneo, which has benefited more than 200,000 residents of the state in 20 years.
It's very important to have a government to government, but it is a peoples to peoples network which carry the relationship much further. And over the years, there are hundreds of thousands of Malaysians and Sarawakians spending their times in Australia. We want to thank for that peoples to peoples network.
He also expressed his appreciations to the Australian government and people for the opportunities and support provided throughout these bilateral cooperations, expressing hope that the relationship could continue in the future for the common good. At the event, Dato' Amar Dr. Sim also had the opportunity to visit HMAS Cape Shanks, a high-class battleship belonging to the Royal Australian Navy that was developed from the Emmerdale-class patrol boat to the Cape-class, and then the larger evolved model equipped with new technology. This ship, which is specifically designed for maritime monitoring and enforcement operations, rarely sails north of the equator, and its visit to Malaysia this time is a historic opportunity for many of the ship's crew to carry out international engagements and fly the flag of the Royal Australian Navy in the country's waters. And that's the English edition with me, Hana Elias. More news can be found in our official portal ukas.sarawak.gov.my and social media platforms including Facebook and YouTube. Ending the bulletin with highlights of the inauguration of XFAB Sarawak's new building by Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim at Samajaya Kuching on Friday. #Saruan Informasi Rakyat. Have a good night.